performance, it's actually part of expression. When you act a drama, it's part of expression. When you draw a picture, a cartoon, a character, it is all part of expression. So the Constitution did not just grant you a freedom of speech, it has granted you a freedom of expression. So let's take a very short break. We'll be back, our people. Thank you for listening. So in the age of social media, the freedom of expression is a very, very technical and a very, very sensitive one. Reason being, you have a lot of medium to express yourself. You can express yourself on YouTube, you can go on TikTok, you can go and make a post on Facebook, you can even write a kind of short write-up on your WhatsApp status. So there are so many ways. Expressing yourself has become very, very easy. And with this ease also comes a very, very delicate or sensitive trap. Because you can easily express yourself, you can also easily make a mistake of overstepping your bounds. Like I was telling one of my friends earlier today that every freedom and every right the Constitution gives you actually has a limitation. So it is not a kind of exclusive right that you can use anyhow. There are limitations to every right. So in as much as we have Facebook, we have Twitter, which is X, we have WhatsApp, we have so many platforms where you can express yourself. It is a kind of double-edged sword. It's like a blessing and a curse. A blessing if you use it wisely and legally, and a curse if you fall into the trap of overstepping your band. So let us start with this popular belief. Everyone say, well, I have the right to talk. You make a post on, let's use TikTok, and someone asks you to bring down the post, and you feel like, no, the Constitution says I have the freedom of expression. Do you really have this right? And what are the limitations of the right? So let us actually start from this position. The freedom of speech starts with your freedom of opinion. It means you have the right to hold an opinion, and nobody can force that opinion from you. So if you believe President Bola Tinubu is a good leader, yeah, you have the right to that opinion. If you believe Peter Obi would have been better, or Atiku, yeah, it's your right to hold your opinion. If you believe in Jesus Christ, Prophet Muhammad, if you believe in the African traditional religion or not, it is your right under the Constitution. You have the right to hold an opinion, and no one has the right to. I wouldn't say they don't have the right to challenge your opinion. People can challenge your opinion, but they cannot force it away from you. You also have the right to receive information and ideas. And what do I mean by receiving information? You have the right to buy newspaper, check. You have the right to buy books. There are books that are already banned. So I wouldn't say you have the right to buy those. So if you see any book that is legal, that is permitted, that has not been banned by the government, you have the right to buy these books. Nobody should deprive you of that right. You have the right to seek information. You have the right to seek opinion from other people. You also have the right to pass information. When you get an information, you read a book and you saw a very beautiful lesson, you can go to your WhatsApp status and post about it. Nobody should tell you not to express yourself. You have the right to pass information, and more importantly, you have the right to operate a media or medium forum of expressing yourself. You can stand up tomorrow and decide to build your own radio station and say, well, I want to be broadcasting there. I don't want any other person, just me. It is your right. You can be broadcasting. You have the right to operate a television station. You have the right to go on social media. We have a lot of examples today. A lot of people go to live. They call themselves broadcasters or live streamers. So it's actually an enjoyment of your constitutional right. And you have the right to write a book. Oh, you've been through a lot in life and you want people to know your story. Yes, of course, you can write a book, publish it and sell it, and no one should go against you because it is your right. Also, don't forget you have the right to blog. You have the right to blog and you have the right to paint. And this is where we don't get it. Some people don't know that you can commit a crime by drawing a picture, because the Constitution gives you the right to express yourself through a picture or painting. That also means you can violate that right. You can violate it. So you have the right to paint. And most importantly, and the one people usually get wrong, is you have the right to keep quiet. When the constitution says you have the freedom of expression, it did not say you must express yourself. It said you can keep quiet, you can keep short. And that's why when policemen come to arrest you, for those of us that have been lucky enough to be arrested, the first thing the police will tell you is you have the right to remain quiet, and whatever you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. So you have the right to remain silent. So I don't know why people get into this trouble of over talking or overstepping their bounds, because the constitution actually says you can keep quiet. And let me break it down very well, because I believe people don't really get it. When the constitution says you have the right to remain silent, it means quiet in every way. It's not just by your words of mouth, also even by typing, writing an information, writing a letter, you have the right to remain quiet. So someone gave you a query, of course you have the right to remain quiet. In fact, interestingly, is when you get to the court of law and you are facing a criminal prosecution, the law still says you have the right to remain quiet. The judge can throw a question at you and you say, respectfully, I want to exercise my right to remain quiet. A policeman can ask you a question and you say, well, I have the right to remain quiet. And don't let us just do the talking alone. Let us hear from our people. You can call the studio on 0704 7003 969. You can also reach us on 0704 7002 969. While waiting for our people, let us take a very short break. Alright, so welcome back our people, and don't forget, if you've been following this program very well, we've actually mentioned 3 categories of speech. That's written words, what you write in a book, in a newspaper, letters, in your tweets, blog posts and Facebook posts and all. I also mentioned graphics, that's painting. I told you that what you paint, and it actually also includes your music, the kind of song you sang. Let's look at our Fuji music, hip hop. Some of them we come up with very critical songs, like back in the days, people like Fela Anikulapo Kuti. Fela would actually produce music to challenge the government positively. And we have Nollywood movie. All these are exercise of your freedom of expression. And while you are doing this also, you can fall into the wrong side. That means there are songs that you will sing that will land you in jail. There are movies you will produce that will land you in trouble. And the law actually also sees and views language and action as part of expression. What do I mean by action? You are protesting, it is an expression. If you are blocking a road, blocking an highway, it is also part of your freedom of expression. So it is up to you to actually take reasonable diligence to make sure while exercising your freedom of expression, you are not doing it in the wrong way. The main idea is very simple. The law just wants you to express whatever you are feeling, in as much as it doesn't affect other people and it doesn't affect the government, the state. Because there are things that we express that might not affect people, but that might affect the country itself. That's Nigeria. For instance, let's say let's look at a situation like the Orire local government kidnapping, and you had an information, a very critical information that can help in the rescue of those children, but rather than taking it to the government, you decided to publish it, in such a way you might be hurting your country by expressing your freedom of expression. And now we've been talking about limits, because I kept saying there are limits to your freedom of expression. So what are the limits? The limits can be categorized mainly into 3. The first one is for public safety or order. Anything you want to say, anything you want to act, anything you want to sing in a song, any picture you want to paint that can create a kind of chaos, that can bring public disorder, you are not meant to express it. It's a limitation of your freedom of expression. And during the tenure of Buhari, there was an act of the National Assembly that was actually enacted to check cases of hate speech. Hate speech means you are making statements about other people's tribe, other people's religion that can actually provoke them. So it is a limitation of your freedom of expression. You have no right to express anything that will bring ridicule to the religion, to the conscience, or to the tribe of other people. I feel that is very common on social media. People violate this every other day. It is a crime and it is a limit. Also, there's a limit on public morality. If you notice, there's a board for our music and our video. They call it the censors board. This board actually reviews all this movie that we watch. So when anything is expressed in this movie and they feel it can affect public morality, the government will limit that expression. That's why they ban some movie, they ban some songs, and some of these movies you watch every day, if you notice, they rate them 18 plus, 16 plus, not for audience below this certain age. It's a limitation that, because of the morality of these younger age people, we need to limit your expression. And also, to protect the right and reputation of others, you have no right to express yourself in a way that will tarnish the reputation of other people. Now, there are three kind of offenses that you can actually commit when you fall on the wrong side of this freedom of expression. And the first one is defamation. This defamation can actually be divided into two. Defamation can be divided into slander and libel. So slander means you spoke a word, like that thing came out of your mouth, and the purpose of what you spoke was to bring ridicule to another person. So slander is a crime, and libel is written. When you write in a newspaper, when you go to your Facebook page and you post it and you say, oh, my neighbor has HIV/AIDS, and whereas you have no means of proving it, you don't know that, it is libel, and it is also a limitation on your freedom of expression. Another one is cyber stalking. We've already mentioned this in our earlier episodes. Cyber stalking simply means you are giving people attention that they don't want on social media, like you are harassing them on social media. In fact, I was speaking with one of my seniors recently, and that senior lawyer told me that if you message someone on WhatsApp or any social platform and they tell you to stop texting them, and you went ahead to message them again, you've committed cyber stalking, because they've already told you, leave my cyber space. So you continue to message them is a crime in law. And another one is actually contempt of court. It is very, very common in Nigeria when the court has delivered judgment on a particular issue and people are commenting, the judge is bad, he has taken bribe. Were you the one that gave the bribe? That's the question. Even though you know in your mind that he has taken bribe, you can allow that thought to die in that your mind, not to come into the public domain, because you have no means of proving it. So it's the contempt of the court. There's another way you can actually commit this crime again, is when judgment has not been given on a particular case, but you know the case is in court, and some people already will say, oh, we already know what the court will do, all these Nigerian judges. It is a crime, and you have no right to express such. And before we continue, we are going to take a very short break again. We'll be back very soon. Alright, and I don't know, for people who might feel like, well, it's not a bad thing to have a taste of prison, let me just again advise you on other ways you can commit this crime. Other ways you can commit this crime. As simple as going to a WhatsApp group and texting and dropping a very simple message can actually get you into prison. And I remember the story of this guy that that went online and posted that the child of Simi and what's the name of this artist, Adekunle Gold, that their child died or something in the United States. As we speak now, that guy is in prison because he posted what he knew nothing about. And the good thing now is the law does not just say, oh, when you commit libel, slander, defamation, we will punish you. No, the law says you can come up with defense. You can defend yourself. And one of the most beautiful defense is justification. And what do we mean by justification? I went online and I published that, oh, my neighbor has HIV. Then the law expects you to come to court and show that HIV results. Since you were a medical doctor, you conducted a test on him. Bring the results. Of course, if you can justify yourself, the law is going to free you. So anything you want to say, before we round up, anything you want to say or anything you want to publish on any social medium, when you know you cannot justify it, you cannot prove it, it's better you keep it to yourself. And another problem I notice, another trap that people fall into on this freedom of expression is when you buy a product and the product is not good and you want to go online to express yourself. Good. You can actually express yourself. I bought a wristwatch and the wristwatch is not good. You can mention the brand. The law has no problem with that. But make sure anything you are saying is only limited to the knowledge you have. So it will be unfair for you to now say all the products of that company is bad. No. You bought a single product and that single product you bought is bad. It's enough for you to say that product you bought is bad. So when you speak outside that product and you just want to defame, you just want to attack that company because of course you spent your hard-earned money and you are very angry, you will fall into a trap. So thank you very much, our people, for listening and joining us on the Legal Hour once again today. So stay safe and stay happy. And be careful what you say. I want you to always be part of this program and I will not want you to go to jail. Thank you very much. My name is DARASIMI OPEFEYITIMI, once again your favorite lawyer. Have a beautiful day. Well, the day is over.
Your station, your heartbeat. Oxygen FM 96.9 Ibadan.
Breathe in the beat, breathe out the vibe. Oh, Oxygen FM keeps the city alive. Oh, turn it up now, let the rhythm ignite. Oh, we beat together.
Arábìnrin dìde àsìkò ti tó. Oxygen FM 96.9 ti gbé ètò tuntun àrà ọ̀tọ̀ kalẹ̀. Mo pé lọ́lá.
Lọ́jọ́jọ́ Thursday lórí Oxygen FM 96.9 ní aago 3 sí aago 4 ní ọjọ́ Thursday. Mo pé lọ́lá, ẹ máa bá wa kálọ.
Smile pay, your trusted way. Airtime data, day to day. Smile pay, seamless and bright. Cable TV and power line.
My country people, I say SmilePay don tanga gidigba for this obodo Nigeria and international. Try SmilePay. You fit buy your airtime, your data and bill payment, cable television to subscribe for your TV for home. You fit save your money inside SmilePay account. You wan do your registration on top your WAEC, NECO, any examination wey be say na online. And if you wan check any of your results, I dey tell you say your jumping e dey tanga gidigba. Try SmilePay today.
You can download your SmilePay on your Play Store or App Store. SmilePay, fast, simple, rewarding. Pay with a smile. SmilePay, your trusted way. Airtime data, day to day.
Hey GSS 1, GSS 2 and GSS 3 students, are you ready to prove you are the brightest? Here's It's your chance to shine. Smart Edu Hub, in partnership with Accessible Publishers, proudly presents the Accessible Summer Competition 2026. Take on 50 exciting questions from our Beckett Question Bank in mathematics, English, language, and science. And you could become a grand prize winner of 1 million naira. That's not all. 50 lucky participants will also win 10,000 naira each as consolation prizes. The best part? Registration is absolutely free. Registration opens 12 midnight on Wednesday, 5th August 2026. The grand finale comes up on 31st August 2026. Don't miss this incredible opportunity to test your knowledge, build your confidence, and win amazing prizes.